whole support build revolves around free meal. You need it to be limit broken by the Tigrex Essence, which is a 3-part armor skill, which allows you to get free meal to level 3, which gives you a 75% activation chance, which is most of the time. For any potions, drinks, meat, or drugs that your character consumes during a hunt. Now you'll see the generalized skill list to the right side of the screen there. The Tigrex parts are the most essential. It really doesn't matter which ones you pick. I just recommend picking the betas. All 3 pieces that I selected, which in this case are the mail, the greaves, and the waist coil, or the tassets, whatever they're called. Those are the 3 I picked for the skills provided. And of course, like I said, beta just for the gem allotment. You want to have as many +4, +3 slots as you can, and then every subsequent gem slot's just a bonus. Now for the other skills, you'll see I have the the Black Veil Val Hasak Super Recovery for the helm and the bracers, which was my own personal choice. This current build was provided to me by Joellington MD through his interesting outlook on skill allotment and whatnot. He's a frequent collaborator on my channel. The Tigrex parts are important. The Val Hazak was my own little variation for the Super Recovery perk. His was a little bit different, but the important ones are Free Meal, Wide Ranger, and the Tigrex Essence. Now, Wide Ranger, you'll notice, is only 4 out of 5 on my screen. That's because I tend to allocate the Friendship Charm for the Wide Ranger perks. And I'll tell you, when I first made this support build, I had Friendship Charm 3, which was still quite fine, honestly. It's perfectly good. Don't think you have to upgrade to the maximum. I'm not even at the maximum myself. So Friendship Charm 4 does the job. I intend to get it all the way eventually, but I haven't gotten that far in the Guiding Lands. I need certain parts. So as long as you have Wide Ranger in some capacity, if you're not using all the parts I'm using outside of the Tigrex armor, you might have enough gems available to do so. A lot of the times you don't have a good enough Gem 4 perks or jewels. A lot of it comes down to what you have. My gems for the level 4s were particular, so you'll see here, this is how I had to assign everything, and you'll notice I have a few perks on the bottom of the tree here that seem kind of pointless. Those were leftovers from certain pieces of armor and whatever the jewel level 4s that I didn't need, just to get the ones I did need. So if you have a better selection of jewels, you might even be able to gem in the difference for Wide Ranger and get even higher than I have here. But anywhere between level 3 or higher for Wide Range will be perfect. Higher is always better. You'll notice I also have some skills here like earplugs and sun resistance. That's my own personal decision. I don't ever want to be interrupted or knocked or blasted back by a roar, or in a situation where I'm dizzy and I can't, use the free meal for the group. And that's sort of the whole point of this. This works because you're able to constantly use potions, drugs, meat, and the what is the other one? Drinks. To keep everyone alive, keep everyone buffed, keep everyone free of all the status ailments that they'll accrue during whatever hunt you're on. That's your role, your super support. Now, I have speed eating level 3 that allows me to consume quicker than usual, which is also kind of important when people are getting rickrolled by whatever monster it is. I've been in a situation where I've literally downed mega potions consistently while 3 other hunters were getting their asses handed to them. It totally helps to have that speed eating perk. You'll notice I have a hunting horn selected. It makes sense on any kind of support build to have a hunting horn. I don't have any gems in Maestro. I don't really need them for this. You don't need them either. It's totally fine with Wide Ranger. I selected the Sforzando 3, which is the maximized iron tier bagpipe. I did that one because I needed 2 slots free for my health boost and my stun resistance. Health boost is also optional. You don't have to do it. I do it. I like having my health bar all the way maxed. It's personal preference. Don't judge me. If you feel like you can put a gem better suited elsewhere, by all means, that one's an optional. Recovery up, I recommend having maxed out also. That's something you'll want with Wide Ranger and everything else. Everyone's bars will just jump to maximum really fast. It makes things a little bit easier, so you can heal somewhere and then cycle through another buff while their health is already taken care of. You don't have to worry about double dipping on anything. Yeah, do that. That one's important. Again, health boost is optional. Recovery up, I'd say, is mandatory. Up there with the other ones. Speed eating, I also would say, is mandatory. Though those two you want to have, as well as obviously the free meal and wide range. Earplugs and stun resistance, you might feel as if you don't need them if you have other ways of playing. For my style, they just make it so that I never have to worry about getting interrupted. The other ones in the bottom, you'll see Constitution, Recovery, Speed, Attack Boost, Peak Performance. Like I said, they're just leftovers. And the Hunting Horn as a support weapon works very, very well for what we need here. You can use other weapons. I don't see why you would. If you have a Wide Ranger or support build, a Hunting Horn will let you do other things while you're buffing everyone. So you'll constantly be doing some kind of group task. Some people might feel as if the free meal would work better on a quickly sheathing weapon, maybe a dual blade or a sword and shield. If you want to skill set that in with jewels, is up to you. I think it's a waste of time. I do think this will just lend better to Hunting Horn, but again, everyone's perception might be different. I originally tried this with a bow and arrow. I really wasn't doing anything outside of sheathing it to heal and then doing not helpful damage with the bow. If you feel like you disagree with that, by all means select a weapon of your choice. Again, the horn for me made sense as both something with 2 slots free for gems or jewels, and of course Hunting Horn just made sense for any kind of support. Let's go to our box. The next step, of course, is inventory. You want to look at your materials. Now, like I said before, drinks, potions, drugs, and meat. You can't do anything with powders. Don't bring them, don't have them. I know you might want to stick a life powder or a dust of life on there just as a backup. Trust me, you're not going to need them. Max potions and ancient potions do work. You can rely on them on a pinch if you need to. Otherwise, max potions are fine. I have backup potions just to make on the way in case I don't get lucky with free meal. Like maybe I can grab a honey on the way and make them. Otherwise, you'll be grabbing a lot of things out of the inventory box, like the first aid kits and the rations. I don't use meat for my particular setup. I have the energy drinks, but you could bring your own well-done steaks if you have them. Null berries are very, very important. You should always have them. You should have herbal tea for antidote. Or have them both, really. I have them both, but herbal tea is better because it heals as well as curing. I also have, cool drinks on here, hot drinks. I have the beef jerky from Mystera in case someone gets bled. That will count as well. And it's also important to have some kind of buff or defense or damage. If you have the megas for Mega Demon Drug or Mega Armor Skin, use them. I use the default ones just because it's easier for me to make them. But if you have the materials, use those. They will count as well. So you'll be able to use those on top of whatever you're doing with a Hunting Horn. If you don't have a Hunting Horn, you better have those. Because why else? I mean, what else are you doing, right? I don't know about the Adamant Seeds and Might Seeds. I don't know if they count as a food item. I don't use them, but they may work. I might need some more help, maybe from the comment section. Maybe someone knows if they'll actually work. But basically, just remember, Mega Potions have a must. You want to be the guy grabbing the first aids and the rations from the box. I know if you have multiple players there, they might think, why is this guy hoarding everything? Well, just hoard it. Don't ignore them. You're going to be the one healing them, and you'll be doing it better. So they can just keep fighting. That's the whole point. So remember that. That's important. Radial is next. You have to do this right. I know so many hunters don't even mess with the radial. Just please use the radial. I have my tools on selection there. I have a cleanser booster plus. I have a health booster with this particular setup, and I have it on both supports, pretty much identical. You know, the null berries are important, the max potions, the ancient potions if you need them. I do prefer a north, south, east, west setup for some of the essentials like the tools and stuff, but you can do what works for you. Energy drinks on there. You'll probably be using the rations, the meats, the energy drinks periodically between zones just to keep everyone's stamina bar maxed. And again, just use the radial. It'll make things easier than cycling through. You want to be able to do everything quick and efficiently. Let's try this one out on an actual hunt. Supply box, get those first aids, get those rations. That's your priority. Don't worry about the other players. As I said previously, grab all the stuff. I've gone through whole hunts where I haven't even had to dip into my mega potions just because the first aids with the 75% activation have just lasted me. So it's kind of cool when it happens where you don't even have to dip into your real supplies just because it's that efficient with the activation chance. And there are some drawbacks to the build we should probably go over. The first and foremost problem I think would be for a solo hunter. This is great when you have a group of people, but for the solo hunter, while free meal and T-Rex Essence is still an awesome combo, you're going to want to spec out for some of the Wide Ranger and other support things you're going to want to put in for, you know, damage dealing or whatever else you need to make the build work when you're alone. So just keep that in mind when you're drilling it in. Now, other issues I'd say also, passive teams. If you're in a particular group where all the other hunters are waiting for another hunter to take point, or they're making mistakes, or they're not as experienced, you'll spend the whole time healing and buffing everyone, but no one else might do enough damage to keep the hunt going properly. So keep that in mind as well. You may have to make the initiative sometimes. But really, the other thing I'd say is there's certain hunts against certain monsters I've noticed are a little bit trickier. Right now, the monkey, Rajang, is relatively new. We've only had that monster out in the game for a few weeks. And in my experience running this build in random sessions with the SOS signal, there are a lot of people that still aren't quite comfortable fighting it. So I spend a lot of time trying my best to keep people from getting mollywopped by that thing. So at least for the moment, if you're going to try it out, try more standard operating hunts with people who seem like they have some experience based on their hunter rank. And you'll probably do a little bit better with those crowds in general. But always be doing something. You know, constantly buffing. If you don't have the hunting horn like I have here, and you can see I'm doing the stamina drops there. I don't know what you call them. I call them stamina wells or whatever you want to call them with the hunting horn. If you don't have one and you choose to do something else, just make sure you're constantly utilizing the free meal. That's the whole point. If you're not going to be on point with damage, you want to make sure you're constantly healing the group and doing all the stuff that you need to do. Don't get in the way of the DPS guys, but make sure you're able to enable them to do their job so you can complete the hunt proper. And yeah, try it out. It's pretty cool. You'll see the effects just tile up on the right side of the screen with all those free meal activations. It's kind of cool to see. So yeah, try it out. It's neat.